Now, I'd like to talk in this video about respect. Now, respect does not mean having enormous fear for someone. That's what happens in this society on the earth. People respect someone because they are terrified of them. No, respect is something else. It comes from having appreciated the qualities of someone else. You should have commanders who have such qualities that you are overawed by the admiration that you have for their abilities and their talents. You should not have commanders who terrify you. Not at all. This is a terror-based society, and a terror-based society is a very unpleasant place to live in. I live myself in a terror-based institution where the directrice is a terrifying woman, and I don't respect her at all, quite the opposite of other people. I feel no respect for her whatsoever, because she should be trying to make us feel good in here. Instead, she makes us feel afraid. We shouldn't be afraid in here where we are living. We should be feeling good where we are living. We should be feeling calm. We shouldn't be terrified day in, day out by this woman. Now, a terror-based society has many levels of terror, and I presume that the terror is higher the higher that you go. And in fact, the people who are apparently in command are the people with the most terror of all, because they are terrified by people who are so powerful that they live in a constant state of fear and anxiety, and they are blackmailed constantly, and they are ordered around and in every little way. And I'm talking about the leaders that we see, the government members, all those people there. All those government members there are just puppets. And of course they're controlled by people like the Bilderberg Society. And these puppets are terrified. They're terrified to disobey orders. So it's useless you asking them to, or complaining about what they're doing. It's useless you asking them to do things that they cannot do, because they simply cannot do them, because they have superior orders coming from secret sources, from the secret societies, telling them to do the opposite. Now, that is a terror-based society. And of course the lucky people are the people who have little jobs. The luckiest people are the street people. The people who walk around with dogs, begging for money and living on the streets. They have very little terror at all. The lower you get, the less terror you have, because nobody's interested in terrifying you. So it's a very uncomfortable society, isn't it? I mean, there's not really any point in getting rich on this planet. Anyone who's rich is going to be blackmailed and corrupted and led quite astray. So, as Jesus said, you have to renounce to having lots of material possessions. Just keep the basic necessities and live the most simple life possible, because otherwise your life will be horrible. And that is the only way, in fact, to live on this planet, because the whole structure is so evil. So there is no point, in fact, in winning $10 million on the lottery, because the moment you have those $10 million, people will start, first of all, you have false women after you, all pretending that they're in love with you, when all they want is your money. And then you'll have, that's if you're a man, of course, but anyway, I'm just saying, from my point of view, if I won $10 million, I mean, I would be in a worse situation than living in absolute poverty like it now. And you would have a lot of false women after you, sucking money out of you and trying to drain all your money, and probably trying to drain you of all your strength as well, so that you finish in the tomb earlier. You would have a lot of false friends. You would find you would suddenly have loads of friends. Because when you are very poor, you find you suddenly don't have friends, really. I mean, the people are not interested. The people, if you fall from one level into society, and you knew people who have houses, cars, and all sorts of luxuries, and you, as I did, you fall down to the level of not possessing anything anymore, and even walking around the street without shoes, then you will find that these friends will abandon you. Now, this is not real friendship, this is false friendship, if they abandon you. I mean, I was told by an Italian person that you never ask a friend for money, and I was only asking him for €2.30 to buy a packet of cigarettes. Now, of course, that's very strange. You don't ask friends for money. Who do you ask then? You ask your enemies. Do you have a enemy list on your mobile telephone, and friends list on your mobile telephone, and whenever you need money you telephone your enemies? I don't understand. Or would you go to a money lender who for the €2.30 for the packet of cigarettes will then want €2,000 back? It's very strange. And of course you can eventually get from someone €2. It's not a huge problem, but it's a bigger problem than people can imagine. I once took the bus into the middle of Florence, and I didn't have the money for the ticket back. Now the ticket inspectors have become very severe, or that means they've become more frequent. They get on the bus and they can give you sort of €100 fine for not having a ticket. So I actually begged for 5 hours all night, all the evening, until about 1 o'clock in the morning. And eventually a very rich looking man who was in a chauffeur-driven limousine got out of the back of the limousine, and he had a Rolex watch and was dressed in very fine clothes, and he opened his wallet, which was full of €500 notes, and he opened the little pocket which contained coins, and he pulled out the smallest coin he could find and gave me 10 cents. Well, at that point I can do anything. Well, I had a lucky turn. I actually did meet some walking around for another hour. I met met a group of people I knew who were of acquaintances who had finished attending a concert in the open, a concert of jazz music, and I asked them if they could help me with the bus tickets, and a female acquaintance helped me to buy the bus tickets. She gave me the €1.20 precisely to buy the bus tickets, you see. So it's not so easy in life, you know. If someone who has like €1,000,000 will fork out just €1.20 to buy the bus ticket and won't even think of giving you €5 so that you can have a quick drink since you're completely exhausted and thirsty and everything, then life is not easy. This is a life where there is no human affection at all. You people do not have human affection. I mean, I have felt sorry for people in a bad state when I was in better times, but unfortunately I found that if I gave €5 to a tramp, when my back was turned, I would just give a quick glance behind me. I would see him sticking his finger up at me. So this happened on several occasions. I once bought a little girl an ice cream, a gypsy girl, because she was pleading with the bar owner for something to drink or an ice cream, you know. And I bought her an ice cream, and as she went out of the shop I gave a quick glance and I saw her sticking her finger up at me. So that's happened at least 10 times. So after the 10th time I said, well, I'm never ever going to bother about giving anything to these people who know nothing about human relationships, because you don't have to say thank you when somebody, if you're in a terrible situation, you don't have to say thank you to someone and profusely or anything like that. But you certainly don't stick your finger up at them. It's most impolite. I mean, it doesn't matter whether they haven't seen or not, they sense it and they glance at it. Everyone knows what's happening behind their back. I mean, everyone has noticed that a woman will notice immediately if you are looking at her from behind. So, as women notice when you are looking at them from behind, and they turn around to look to see who is the man who is looking at her from behind while they're walking along the street. That means that everyone has sense. Now, psychiatrists deny the actual existence of sense. Psychiatrists and scientists on this planet deny the existence of everything that has not already been proved, which of course has always been the history on this planet. I mean, Christopher Columbus said there was land over the ocean, and of course the Italians laughed at him, and he had to go and convince the Queen of Spain. Sorry about the mewing in the background. It's a cat that wants to go out the door, but I can't open the door for him. Now, it really has no sense at all living in this fashion. And that's the point I'd like to pick up upon. There's no sense at all in you people actually being alive in the way you are living. There's no point at all. It's ridiculous. All you do is suffer. And you actually inflict on yourselves massive headaches every day. I mean, I haven't had a headache for years. Many years. I don't have headaches. I mean, it's not natural to have headaches. Unless you have something gravely wrong with your brain and you have to be reminded about it, then there's no point in having a headache. And you only have to have that headache once. And then you'll be reminded about it. I had toothache about 15 years ago. It lasted for about 3 days. Well, I can't afford to repair my teeth. So there's no point in me having toothache, is there? Shut up, you cat. Now, this is a stray cat I have here. Just a moment. No, she won't stay still. It's a female, actually. She's a secret stray cat that comes into this building. She comes to my window, and she managed to force the window open. And I have my door closed, and she wants to get out my door and go into the rest of the building. And so that's why she's meowing. She doesn't understand that I'm making a video and that I can't interrupt it. So there really isn't any point in you people being alive because you're inherent masochists. There is no point in you having aches and pains from your arthritis once you know that you have arthritis. Once you've been to the doctor and had yourself checked out and you know that you have arthritis, there's no point in you feeling any pain at all anymore. You may as well just carry on without feeling pain. So I haven't had any toothache for 15 years. And that's how I hope things are going to continue. I've always been like that. I've never had aches and pains from my injuries and from whatever I was suffering from. They've only been brief. I've lost most of my teeth because I used to go around shouting and roaring at people in the street and offending them justly because of their behaviour in the world, in nature, because of their behaviour in nature. And I used to get punched quite frequently in the face, so I used to lose teeth, and I've got hardly any teeth left, and I'll never be able to afford to replace them. Now, of course, I believe I can have a third generation of teeth, but I believe that would cause problems. Probably someone would knock them all out forcefully or something. I sort of believe that my teeth would get knocked out forcefully by some dentist who would say that these teeth shouldn't be here. I've been to see dentists and they've actually pulled out teeth when they promised to put them back in, new ones, and they didn't do it. Everything is dishonest around here, so if you're all dishonest, you're all suffering from your aches and pains, and you all have negative emotions, hate, envy and jealousy for each other. It's normal to hate one's enemy, yes, you should hate your enemy always, but it's not normal to hate each other and to envy each other and to be jealous of each other. Now, of course, these things have a limit. Envy, there's no point in envying your neighbour because he has a garden that's just 2 or 3 times bigger than yours, and he has a car that costs 3 times more than yours. There's no point in envying him for that. But if you are actually homeless and you're living in a tin shack with no electricity or any water supply, and next door there is a person who is living in $100 million house, then you might be forgiven for having envy for that person. You see, it really has to be something strong to provoke envy in a reasonable person, and jealousy the same. Your husband really has to be boasting to you about how many women he's been going with to provoke you jealousy. If you're a woman, that is. And if you're a man, your wife really has to be boasting to you that all the other men are better than you. So there is no point in you people living at all, as far as I see it, in your society. So anyway, I'll finish this video because the cat, I won't say damn cat because I feel feeling like that in this moment, but I'm quite friends with the cat. It's our favourite visitor. Does not understand that I'm making a video and continues to meow and to scrape at the door. So I'll finish with this video now. Anyway, I hope I've put my point across. If you are going to have all negative emotions, painful feelings in your body, a society based on terror and all this, then there is no point in you people being alive at all.